That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all niggas is the worst motherfuckers I've ever tried to entertain in my fucking...
The internet has been set ablaze once again as Katt Williams finds himself trending for all the wrong reasons. But this time, it's not about a new stand-up special or another viral outburst. It's about an old clip that's come back to haunt him, and Dave Chappelle just gave the world an explanation that's got everybody rethinking the entire situation. The clip in question is the infamous 2018 radio showdown between Katt Williams and the late Wanda Smith, the Atlanta radio host who became part of one of the most uncomfortable and iconic moments in modern comedy history. What started as a lighthearted interview quickly turned into a roast session for the ages, with Katt unleashing a barrage of jokes so sharp they left the entire studio stunned.
This might be the noblest of professions. Robin Williams had a bar that I loved. He said comedy is the only job you can have where you can use everything you know. And that's true. You can use more than you know. If you use what you think, use it. Don't be afraid. Don't let these bitch-ass niggas button your lip. Say it anyway.
But it's not just about
Wanda tried to keep up, but Katt's wit was relentless, his energy unmatched, and by the time it ended, she looked visibly humiliated. The moment went viral instantly, sparking outrage, laughter, and debate about whether Katt had gone too far. Fast forward to now, and the clip has resurfaced, with a new generation on social media trying to cancel Katt all over again. TikTok users, podcasters, and cultural commentators have reignited the debate, labeling the exchange as bullying and disrespectful, especially considering Wanda's later passing. But while the internet was quick to pile on, Dave Chappelle stepped in with a perspective that completely changed the conversation. During a recent Quanda at one of his shows, Dave was asked about the situation. And instead of taking sides, he dropped what some are calling the most honest take yet. "People forget," Chappelle said, "that Katt didn't start that. He finished it." Those words instantly flipped the narrative on its head.
One.
I have 3 boys.
Excellent.
Yes, I do.
Aren't boys simple? Aren't boys simple?
They can be. They can be.
Yeah. Wanda knows she
what?
She didn't do as much cooking in the latter years as she did in the beginning.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you didn't.
Well, that's right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Your boys say, yeah.
They like for me to. I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey, right now, look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me does it say heat up water?
According to Chappelle, what happened that day wasn't about cruelty or ego, it was about defense. He explained that Katt, like many comedians, has spent years being disrespected, misunderstood, and underestimated by the entertainment industry and the media. What people saw as an attack, Chappelle framed as a moment of self-protection, a comedian using humor as his armor when he felt cornered. "You can't poke a lion and then be shocked when it roars," Dave continued. That analogy hit hard, especially coming from someone who's been in similar situations where a conversation turned combative, and audiences only saw the reaction, not the provocation. The original exchange between Katt and Wanda started harmlessly enough, until Wanda began teasing Katt about his cooking skills and his personal life. Katt, being Katt, fired back with his trademark precision, turning every jab into a joke that cut deeper with each line. What began as banter quickly turned into a verbal beatdown. Within minutes, Katt had dismantled her with comedic skill, mocking her wig, her weight, and her professionalism in a way that was both hilarious and brutal. The tension in the room was thick, and by the time it ended, Wanda's co-hosts could barely look up. For some, it was one of the funniest, unscripted moments in radio history. For others, it was an example of public humiliation taken too far. Chappelle's take reframed that infamous moment through a lens few had considered.
So I did not want to go back and forth with Katt Williams like that. That bothered me so bad. That really bothered me.
He reminded audiences that comedians operate on instinct, and when they feel disrespected, they fight back with words, not fists. Katt wasn't being mean for sport, Chappelle said. He was doing what comics do, surviving with jokes. He went on to talk about how the entertainment world often provokes artists like Katt, then weaponizes their reactions against them. That, he said, was what made the Wanda Smith moment so complicated. It wasn't just about comedy, It was about power, perception, and survival in an industry that loves to tear down its truth tellers. The resurfacing of the Katt Williams Wanda Smith clip has sparked a full-blown cultural debate, and Dave Chappelle's analysis has only added fuel to the fire. Many fans now see the viral moment in a completely new light, not as an act of cruelty, but as a reflection of how comedians are treated when they step outside the industry's comfort zone. Katt Williams has always been one of comedy's most outspoken and controversial voices, a man who refuses to play the Hollywood game. And as Chappelle pointed out, that independence has come at a price. They love you when you're funny and quiet, Dave said, but they hate you when you remind them why you're dangerous. That statement resonated deeply with fans who've watched Katt's career rise and fall in cycles of brilliance, chaos, and misunderstanding. When the clip first aired in 2018, it seemed like just another wild Katt Williams moment, another headline in a long list of controversies. But behind the laughter was a tension that spoke to something bigger, the cultural divide between authenticity and respectability. Wanda Smith, as a respected radio personality, represented the establishment, polished, corporate, and safe. Katt represented rebellion, raw, unpredictable, and unfiltered. The clash between those energies was explosive, and according to Chappelle, it was inevitable. Wanda was trying to handle Katt like he was a guest, Dave explained, but Katt wasn't a guest, he was a storm. That storm metaphor fits perfectly. For Katt Williams, comedy isn't just entertainment, it's warfare. Every stage, every interview, every exchange is a battlefield where wit is the only weapon. When he feels cornered or disrespected, his instinct is to strike, not to harm, but to dominate. It's how he's survived in an industry that's often tried to silence him. Chappelle, who's faced his own battles with censorship and media backlash, clearly understands that energy. That's why his defense of Katt feels so authentic. He's not excusing the roast, he's contextualizing it. Still, Chappelle's comments have stirred controversy. Critics argue that his defense oversimplifies the power dynamic, that Wanda, being a woman in a male-dominated field, faced a kind of ridicule that cut deeper. They claim that even if she initiated the jokes, Katt's retaliation crossed into disrespect, but fans of both comedians are pushing back, saying that comedy has never been about comfort, it's about truth, and truth isn't always pretty.
If you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm gonna try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished. Who's that? That's you.
People want raw comedians to act like diplomats, Chappelle said. That's not what we do. We speak fire. That line encapsulates everything about why this debate won't die. Because it's not just about that one moment, it's about what comedy means in a culture that constantly tries to control it. The irony of the situation is that both Katt and Wanda were products of the same cultural ecosystem, one that rewards authenticity until it becomes uncomfortable. When Katt turned the jokes back on Wanda, he wasn't attacking her personally. He was doing what he's always done, exposing hypocrisy. Every jab, every insult was part of his comedic rhythm. To him, it was art. To Wanda, it was personal. That disconnect is what made the exchange so unforgettable, and why it continues to resurface years later. Dave Chappelle's take turned what could have been another wave of internet outrage into a masterclass on perspective. By stripping away the emotion and looking at the psychology behind it, he reminded audiences that Katt Williams isn't just a comedian. He's a survivor of a system that rewards conformity and punishes truth tellers. When you come from the mud, Chappelle said, you learn to swing first because you know nobody's going to protect you. That quote has since gone viral, with fans calling it one of the most honest takes ever made about the entertainment industry. As the discourse continues to evolve, one thing has become clear. Dave Chappelle's breakdown of the Katt Williams-Wanda Smith saga has reframed an infamous viral moment into a cultural case study. What once looked like an embarrassing meltdown now feels like a commentary on class, control, and comedy's role in revealing uncomfortable truths. Comedy used to be the last honest job in America, Chappelle said during his reflection. Now they want it sanitized, censored, and safe.
I shouldn't have, honestly. Some of these things are the reason that the enemy decides to go ahead and let you be famous, is your ability to tear down your own kind, no matter how high they are.
That statement resonated deeply, especially among comedians who felt the growing pressure to soften their craft for fear of backlash. The Katt Wanda exchange wasn't just two people trading insults. It was a snapshot of a culture that can't decide whether it wants its truth raw or sugar-coated. What Chappelle made clear is that Katt Williams operates by the old rules, the ones that made comedians dangerous, not diplomatic. He's from the lineage of Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, and Eddie Murphy, comedians who saw truth-telling as an act of rebellion. That's why moments like the one with Wanda Smith feel so volatile. They're unscripted reminders that not everyone in the room is playing the same game. Wanda, representing professionalism and civility, wanted an interview. Katt wanted a sparring match. And when the gloves came off, the result was unforgettable. It's what happens when two worlds collide: structure versus spontaneity, decorum versus defiance. Even years later, that dynamic still divides audiences. Some believe Katt went too far, that his words crossed a moral line. Others see it as pure, unfiltered comedy, a moment of authenticity in an era where everything feels staged. Dave Chappelle's comments cut through the noise by addressing the real issue, the fragility of public discourse. People say they want truth, he said, but what they really want is truth that doesn't make them uncomfortable. That's the heart of this entire debate. Katt Williams made people uncomfortable, and that's exactly why he remains both hated and legendary. The resurfacing of the clip, paired with Chappelle's remarks, has reignited appreciation for Katt's genius. Old fans are revisiting his stand-up specials, remembering how his comedic timing, delivery, and fearlessness made him one of the greatest of his generation. New audiences, many of whom never saw the Wanda Smith interview live, are discovering the intensity of Katt's presence for the first time, and realizing why he's both celebrated and controversial. And through it all, Chappelle's words echo in the background, reminding everyone that comedy isn't about politeness, it's about power. What's especially interesting is how this conversation mirrors Chappelle's own journey. Like Katt, he's been criticized for his bluntness, misunderstood for his message, and praised for his fearlessness. Both men have refused to compromise, and both have paid the price for it. That's why Chappelle's defense of Katt feels less like commentary and more like solidarity. It's one comedian recognizing another warrior who refuses to bow to the system. You can't cancel what's real, Chappelle said. You can only expose how fake everything else is. That statement has since been quoted across platforms, resonating not just with fans of Katt Williams, but with anyone who's ever watched the culture try to silence authenticity. And that's the full breakdown of Dave Chappelle finally revealing the deeper truth behind why Katt Williams humiliated Wanda Smith, a story that's no longer just about roasting or comedy, but about survival, power, and the price of keeping it real in a world that doesn't want the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more breakdowns on the biggest stories shaking up comedy, culture, and entertainment today.